Molly, let's bring in Chris Clem, retired Yuma Section Border Patrol Chief. Chris, good morning to you.
Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. So U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro made reference to this being a foreigner in this country without vetting. I want to play it, and I'll get you to react to it.
Whatever their cause or motive may be, we should not have to live in fear in the nation's capital, especially by one who came here from a foreign country. And through a process that was so absurd that he came through and released into this country, as many were, knowing virtually nothing about his vetting. This is what happens in this country when people are allowed in who are not properly vetted.
Chris, you're a border guy. It strikes me that for years we had a live camera at the border with people coming across the border having no idea who they were or where they were from. Is this the nightmare scenario that there are many people in this country right now, we have no idea who they are or what their motivations may be?
Well, yeah, I was hoping to talk about all the great successes at the border and across the country, but here I am talking about another Biden failure. When the process and the lack of vetting puts speed and sympathy over strength and security, this is what we have. Look, logistically, what was happening when Operation Allies Welcome happened, the agents and the people I know involved were doing everything they can. But when the system and the practices and the policies were failing from the get-go, just letting people in because that's what they thought they needed to do, this is the nightmare scenario. This is the one-off. Hopefully it's the one-off, but unfortunately, we live in a reality. There's going to be more like this that we've got to find. Now, what they say, 90,000 people came in under that. Look, I think there's going to be a targeted focus on bringing every one of those individuals in and do a proper background vetting, who they know, who are they part of, and let's just hope that they give the authority to the president that's vested in Congress to do this job, and we don't get active liberal judges putting a stop on it. We need to protect Americans, and we need to protect everything when it comes down to lawful immigration. And that is an enduring mission to continue the security to keep America safe.
Considering the haphazard withdrawal from Afghanistan and the surge of people trying to get into our country from Afghanistan, many of them were partners who helped us during 2 decades of war. It makes you wonder whether proper vetting was even possible with such a surge of humanity coming to this country.
Well, the entire system was backlogged because of the true surge of humanity, as you mentioned, that came in both illegally and then through this operation. Now, I have give deference to our military around the world that supports the U.S. and their operations. So I recognize why we would want to help those that helped us. But that's no excuse for not proper vetting and going through all those channels, because these folks knew all those ins and outs of what they were doing in that region. So, again, we've got to be very smart on this. Yeah, do we want to give them maybe a front pass on the line? But that does not give them any excuse to not go through the proper vetting. It is a privilege to come to the United States. It's a privilege to be welcome to the United States. You do not take advantage of it. And I'm glad Judge Pirro said the full extent of the law will be hammered down on this individual.
Chris Clem, thank you very much for your time and your analysis today.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.